The next question is this.
Hi, I'm Jenny Joseph, working in Dowlin Healthcare. I have a doubt regarding what is the reason for redness and sore eyes after travel. How can it be avoided, doctor?
And that is also very commonly seen after the end of a day of travel. You end up having red eyes, and that is mainly because of the wind that again dries up your tear film, and the sunlight dries up your tear film. And especially it happens in the bus, or even if you sit in an AC car. So what you can do is, one is to prevent the wind from directly blowing into your face. So roll up those windows, turn the AC vent away from your eyes so that they don't directly affect the tear film. And then you can always use protective glasses. Even if you don't have a power, you can use the sunglasses. Those who don't like the dark tints can go in for a light tint. It will protect you against the wind as well as the heat, and that will help in getting rid of this problem. If you are a frequent traveler, I would advise you to keep lubricant eye drops again with you, which you can put, especially air travel. Again, extreme dryness in the cabins, you know that you're advised to use moisturizers so your skin doesn't dry, and keep yourself hydrated. And along with that, your eyes are also drying up, so you can use lubricant eye drops, especially in the older age group.
The next question is this.
Hello, I'm Bindu James. I'm working at Dowlin Healthcare. I have a doubt. What are the black spots in front of our eyes? Are they dangerous?
You would have all seen that, these small black spots that you see, especially when you look at a white background, and they are just small, what we call floaters. They are tiny condensations in the jelly in front of your retina. Retina is the light sensitive layer, and in front of that is a jelly, and which has a few condensations in it, which is the shadow of which is seen as these floaters. And one or two of them are perfectly normal. Everyone has them. Especially if you have short sight, you will have more of them, and there is nothing to worry. However, if you have a sudden onset of more than 2 or 3 black spots in front of your eye, moving about when you move your eyes, or they are associated with some other symptom, if there is like flashes of light when you're sitting in the dark, there is something like lightning in the side of your visual field, or anything else, redness or pain. So if it is associated with any of this, you need to get your eyes evaluated. They may be, if you have a sudden shower of a large number of black spots, they may be the sign of a retinal detachment, which is a very dangerous condition. So you need to get yourself evaluated. So 1 or 2 black spots, don't worry about it. Increase in number or any other symptom, get yourself checked.
This is the next question.
My name is Soumya. I'm working in Dowlin Healthcare. I have a doubt. The doubt is, how can you prevent conjunctivitis? If we get it, what should be done?
During its season, conjunctivitis is a very vexing problem. Everyone has it. It takes off your leaves and office time and everything. To prevent it is a little difficult because it is usually viral, and as you know, like we get a common cold, virus spreads very fast. But what you can do is, one is of course washing hands to prevent any kind of infection. Conjunctivitis is infection. It may be bacterial, it may be viral, but more commonly viral. So keep washing your hands. Every time you touch a common surface, it's always better to wash your hands. And if you do have a colleague or friend who has conjunctivitis, avoid touching surfaces that that person has touched. Avoid sharing towels or handkerchiefs or even desktop. You will not get conjunctivitis by just looking at the patient's face. It's not spread like that, but you will get it through fomites, that is stuff, things that that person is using. So that you have to be careful about, and at the slightest hint of symptoms, get yourself treated by an ophthalmologist. That's all you can do to prevent conjunctivitis. There are no eye drops or vaccines available that can prevent conjunctivitis.
So how often should we get our eye checked?
That will depend on your age group. If you are a small child, or if you have a small child, you need to get the child evaluated once before schooling starts, so that you know that the eyesight is normal. And of course, if there is any complaints, definitely, even if there is no complaints, because it is difficult to find out in a child if the child has a small degree of defective vision. So always get evaluated before going to school, preschoolers especially. And if there is a refractive error, every year the child has to be checked. In the younger age group, generally tend to ignore going to the doctor, but if you have a family history of any eye disease, especially glaucoma, which tends to be familial, or if you have any other complaints, or if you're using glasses, or if you have any what is called asthenopic symptoms or tiredness after reading for a long time or looking at the computer for a long time, you need to get yourself evaluated. Above 40 years, yearly eye checkup is mandatory. If you are diabetic, again yearly eye checkup is mandatory, so that you can avoid problems by treating the diseases early.
Well, the next question is from me that, if squint eye can be corrected, until what age it can be corrected, and can it be corrected in older age group?
Squint eyes, the earlier you correct it is the better. The basic problem with squint is that the muscles of the eye are not working together. Generally, when you want to look in one direction, both your eye muscles have to act similarly, or at least in conjunction with each other, so that you're looking at an object with both eyes. And that is what gives you what is called binocular single vision, or in simple words, depth perception. So if you need depth perception, both your eyes should be in the same direction, and the object should be falling on the central point in both eyes. When this does not occur in an early age itself, if one eye is squinting, that eye will tend to have lesser vision, and the person will not be having binocular vision. So correction of this, if it is done in the earlier you do it, like before the age of 6 years, if you can correct the defective vision as well as correct the position of the eye, it gets the best results. It gives you binocular vision, which is what every human being should have. If you are older and you have a squint, there are some squints which manifest in the older age group, so it comes only then. Then again it can be corrected as early as possible, as soon as it is detected. Even older than that, if it has been there for some time but you want to get it corrected, then we call it a cosmetic squint surgery. It is done just to make your eyes aligned. It will not give you binocular vision. You will still be using only one eye, because the squinting eye would have been what we call suppressed. So it will not regain your binocular vision, but you can, for cosmetic purposes, your squint can be corrected. Generally, those are the guidelines for squint correction.
Well, what I wanted to ask is about the cosmetics that we use, so regular eye makeup that we apply. So will it cause any problem to the eye, the prolonged and the regular use?
If you use eye makeup regularly, you should always be careful that you don't get it into the eye. So all your eyeliners should be applied outside what we call the gray line. Once it goes inside, it comes into your conjunctiva, which will cause a lot of foreign body sensation and watering, and is not good in the long run also. So outside is all right, unless you develop an allergy to it, in which case you should avoid it altogether. Try avoiding it if you are using contact lenses. Again, the particles may get in there and cause irritation between the lens and the cornea and can cause problems. So be very careful if you are using contact lenses. And if you are using regular makeup, always remember to remove it when you go to sleep, because you don't want it to stay there for longer than what is required. So remove it completely using a remover before you go to sleep every day, and mostly there will not be any problems.
So it's time for us to almost wrap up the show. That was really nice talking to you, Doctor. Thank you for being here in the show. Well, if you have more questions, don't worry, you can keep writing to us on youthdiaryroseball@gmail.com. Until then, goodbye.